Hello everyone. Today we are going to watch Lichess Fight Night Arena 14. This time I'll not be playing, I'll just be watching Pinkamena. Fatality is absent today. She is, I think, playing some chess, once again, some classical chess. So we're going to watch only the younger sister. So I think it's a nice start. After the exchange on c3, white is playing bishop d2 and having a pretty nice position. The pawn structure is better. The development is a little bit favorable as well. Queen goes to c5 or castling. The best thing about our pawn structure is that we have center and black can't really contest it because there are just no pawns for black in this area. Knight goes to g4. So the pawn on f2 is attacked. Maybe it's not so easy to defend it, but no, it is. We just can play d4. d4 was perfect move, but it's missed. Pinkamena plays rook f1. Now h3. This doesn't really change much, so we can make d4 move like whenever we like, really. Rook b1 is very strong now because the pawn on b7 will be attacked and bishop b4 threat will be present. Pinkamena plays bishop e3 instead. Attacks the queen. So yeah, mostly this is just a game for like two results, so white can win or just not succeed in it and it will be a draw. Because like after every exchange, the position, like the draw tendencies of the position becomes like more intense. Oh, and now rook d8 is a blunder, so Pinkamena plays e5, wins a minor piece. And now the advantage is already pretty much decisive. g4 is played and I think we can play bishop h4. This will be the best move in this position. It will not lead us to winning some material, but it will lead to a lot of exchanges, and this is what we really desire in this kind of position. Yeah, nice job Pinkamena. Bishop h4 is played. As you can see today, Pinkamena is like a unicorn, or I don't know, just looks similar. So what can black do now? Black can take on f3, but we'll take on f6, then bishop takes d1. Oh, and actually we win some material, because we'll not take the bishop on d1, but we'll take rook on d8. This will even lead to more material advantage. That's nice. Queen takes h4. Wow, yeah. There is this move, so how am I missing it? So obviously black can like avoid losing material, but that's really matter because now we can even play rook e7. Didn't go for it for some reason. Now we have an extra like knight for the pawn. This is a huge advantage. Also the e-file is ours. If black tries to contest it by playing rook e8, we'll just play king f1, then exchange it, play rook e1, so some usual stuff. Rook g8 is not a blunder yet. I thought we can play knight e8, knight e4, but yeah, rook e7 is always possible. Now we can just take on c7, and the only counterplay that black can have is h5, h4. Yeah, we will have some problems, but it's not a big deal, really. So we'll just move our knight to e4, and the loss of the g2 pawn is not this critical. At least there are some chances for black. I think the best move is king f1. So just like thinking ahead, one step ahead, so moving the king before we'll get like checked. King h1 is played. I don't like this move, to be honest. I like the king not to be in the border, not to be in like this scary position when some weird stuff can happen, some like checkmates. I think it's not a huge mistake yet, but oh, rook takes f7 actually can be played. This was a nice move. White is playing knight f6 check. So yeah, king h6 is the only move now. Now I'm a little bit scared for white, so obviously there is like nothing serious yet. Oh, and rook c8 is a nice move actually. Maybe it's not, but I can still take on f2, I guess. Maybe we were planning rook h8 check, but black will respond with king g6. And what was our plan? Well, we can play knight h5, maybe. I think it's still not winning some material, to be honest. So I'll rather go for knight e4. Oh, knight e4 is winning material, actually. Yeah, so rook g1 is coming. Oh, actually, Pinkamena did a really nice job. If she like didn't take on h4, just no. Why? Rook g1 was just winning an extra rook, and the game will be over. But now there is some fight going on, and that's what I was talking about when I was saying that the king on h1 is like it's not a perfect place for the king, because now if we like move our rooks away, we're risking not only like a perpetual check motives, but also maybe in some scenarios we can even be checkmated. That's not a good sign. Young Pinkamena was so close to just winning this game, but now she'll have to win it once again. Because at this point, I already think that black's position is even better, to be honest. King goes to d2. Wow. Black is not messing around, just trying his best. King e3. Oh no! What is this? Why? Pinkamena blundered one more piece, and yeah, rook e4 is not working. It even leads to one more exchange. Black could have taken on d3. Oh no. This was such a like done game. Rook d7 is a good check. But it's too late to make good moves, really. Wow, rook g5. Why didn't we take on f7? Wow, c4. What is black doing? What is white doing? No, white could have taken on c4, and I think it's already a draw, to be honest. Oh my god, no. What was this? Black was blundering one pawn after another. Why? Jesus Christ. It's funny how why didn't black just play king b1? I don't get it. Rook c3, yeah. So hello everyone. We are not off to a good start. So both sides are playing weird. And why? No, why? we could even have like some desperate chances if we didn't exchange rooks, but what? Obviously black knows how to checkmate with the queen. And yeah, so this game was won in like one move, but now we have to start with a 0 in our like as our first result, and the opponent is stronger than the previous one, more than 2000s of rating. Oh, this game once again. I like I hate this to play against like when I'm black, because white's play is just 92, then casting, then 95, then 93. So if you just want like easy victories, don't want to try it, so this is the one for you to play this by playing white. So Pinkamena has already lost a lot of games to this, and now this will be one more lost game. So now white will just play g4, g5. I think that this opponent even have already played against Pinkamena, and this was the same. Yeah, that's it. So he won just in the same fashion. It's absolutely the same situation. And I can remind you that white played really bad, but still won. So missed a lot of chances in the previous game. Now g4 is played, and yeah, he's just desperate. So now I think that f6 was just like essential. And after black didn't make this move and even made it impossible to be made in the future, because the pin on like f4 c7, white will just play g5 and black can do nothing. Black can do nothing against this. So I think our only chance now is to play queen b6 and then f6. I don't see other options, so we have to like open the play somehow. We just have two pieces that are basically not playing. Pawn on b2 is attacked. White has to respond maybe. Rook b1. It's an okay move, I guess. Now I have to play f6. We just must make this move. It is still not like solving all the problems, but at least knight c5 is played. Bishop c2. Now I'm not sure about the f6 move, because we now can't take with our knight. We will have to take with the bishop or the rook, and it will be met by g5. And maybe it's too late already. See, she just doesn't know what to do, and that's the problem with this opening. So white have a plan that can like they can make this plan work without even like thinking, and black has to invent something. So yeah, now we are attacking the a2 pawn, but now it's not a factor anymore. So we can take like every pawn on the queen side, but it means nothing if we are like checkmated in 5 moves or so. h5 is played, but now white will just go g6, and the g6 is the only move for white here. So now we have like we are taking on g6. I think that's the right decision, because if we don't, white will just move the knight away, queen will take the pawn on h5, and checkmate threats will be just inevitable. No, no, no. Queen takes a2. It's the timing is off. Maybe we should have tried like bishop d7, bishop e8. But now what can we say about knight d2 is a strong move as well. So the rook is now defended once more. Queen will take on h5, and we are just checkmated. Queen a6. Nah, it's too late. White can afford to sacrifice just everything. It will be fine. Well, at least we'll have the knight d3 check, so white will maybe have to play king d1, then knight takes f2 is possible. White is opting for knight b3. That's at least delaying checkmate. I doubt this decision. I think that white could have gone for queen takes h5. Oh, actually it was a sacrifice. Oh, then I eat my words. This is a nice move. Well played by white. You see, this game wasn't even like competitive, so black has to know something about this exact setup from white. And yeah, we're checkmated. Very sad. But I can't really blame Pinkamena for this game because it's just a problem of pre-game preparation than the exact mistakes in the game. Now I have Petrov's defense, which is in Russian called as Russian game. Or just Russian opening rather. That's some weird stuff. Black is like pressing white's position. Maybe black could have played b4 instead of f5, e5 and eat the e4 pawn. But I just don't believe that you can eat this kind of pawns without having some consequences with this like lack of development. Wow, we have some tactics going on. It's obviously not working. So if black wanted this to work, they had to play h6 first. Now it's better to take with the f knight, and Pinkamena it's with the e knight, but it's not a big deal really. Oh, now we can take on f7 actually. Knight takes f7, rook takes f7, bishop takes f7, king takes f7, and no, I was mistaken. The g5 square is defended. I'm really liking form now. Well, at least black has center. e4 is a blunder, and black immediately resigns. Just, I don't know, this was like a desperation. So yeah, our first point in this tournament. This opponent was really weak because Pinkamena is like 3-0 against this guy. So yeah, hello to everyone who is like who is just connected to our stream. So how is it going, guys? Yeah, good evening, Brian. e4, e5, knight f3, and Pinkamena I think plays knight c6. Yeah, d4, so it's like Scottish defense. So the exchange happens, bishop c5, bishop e3. And we're going to b6. I'm not sure, is this a theory? I don't really know. When I used to play e5, like e5 when my opponent plays e4, so now I'm playing e6 mostly. But in my childhood I used to play e5, and I reacted to Scottish defense by playing queen h4. This is like a weird move that's just trying to catch white off guard. Well, black actually managed to play knight e5 and exchange the bishop on c4, and even maybe take the pawn on e4. Are we going for it? Yes, we are. So now we have an extra pawn. We have a pair of bishops. Hi, Simon. White is castling, and we can just castle ourselves and then play d5. We'll have the center, we'll have an extra pawn, and we just have every advantage than we can think of. So that's why you don't place your queen somewhere like d3, because it can easily be attacked by the opponent's minor pieces. The opponent has a decent rating actually, so that was a weird blunder. Queen goes back to d3. And now we're playing d5, I think. Yeah? Or rook e8, maybe. I think d5 is better. And Pinkamena plays knight f6. I'm sure that this is not a good move, because white will play bishop g5, of course. And oh no, I just can't guess a single move. What are they doing? Why not bishop g5? This was just such a good chance for white, really. So it was so difficult for black to defend from this pin. But now, of course, she plays h6, and this chance is missed. Now, once again, black has like a huge advantage. Knight goes to c4, and white will at least take the bishop on b6. This will like increase the drawish chances, because the bishop are like different colored, but I don't think that this is still enough to have a competitive game. Well, it will be competitive, of course, but I think it's very far from equality, to be honest. Black will just play c5, then bishop e6. Everything will be nicely defended. The a file is open and under our control. White is playing b4. b4 maybe is a nice move. Maybe white should have waited for c5 to play b4 afterwards, but I'm not sure. I think it's not working one way or another. We can maybe think of... Yeah, bishop g4 is like fine. f3. Oh, it's actually nice that we made white to go like f3, because it's a little bit weakening. Maybe it's not. White will just put the bishop on f2. It will be positioned nice. The pawn on f3 blocks our knight. So our knight has to find some different route. I think we have a nice maneuver. Knight e8, knight d6, and knight c4. Now Pinkamena will play bishop g6, definitely. Oh, and queen d2 is even like making this maneuver even stronger. So now we have to play knight e8. And Pinkamena is playing rook e8. This is worse. Not much worse, I think. We still have a good position. Oh, sorry, guys. You know, it's so weird. I just miss a lot of sleep time. So I think I slept like 6 hours for the previous 3 days. But today I've slept like maybe 20 hours, I don't know. And I'm still like feeling not 100% energetic. Bishop goes to f2, and now maybe, yeah, we can play queen d7. Yeah, so now we can see the drawbacks of the b4 move. So the pawn on a file is desperate to find some cover. I think it was even better to take with our queen, to then go queen a4. Rook e1 is played, and I doubt this exchange, to be honest. I would rather play rook a8. Oh, and now white has some counterplay, so Pinkamena is starting to play with fire. Queen c8 is a nice move, defensive. Knight b3, the pawn on b6 is attacked. I'm 100% sure that Pinkamena will blunder it. And yeah, I wasn't like completely wrong, but I think that queen a8 is still the best move, because of, yeah, b5 is played. I doubt the b5 move. I think it was essential to keep our pawn on b6. But maybe we couldn't achieve that. g4, bishop g6. What? Why have 2 seconds? 2 seconds is not enough to play this kind of position. It's too difficult. I think queen a3 was a nice move. Black is playing queen b8. Now queen a8 backwards. h4. b6. b6, knight b3, and now... Oh, bishop b1. We can play bishop b1. Queen f2 is attacking the b6 pawn, but it's not really a threat. Bishop goes to d3 and then c4. That's a nice maneuver as well. Queen takes b6 is a blunder. Very weird one, because bishop f1 checkmate. Nice. Nice. Good job, Pinkamena. Guys, where are your comments? We're waiting for your activity. You can ask some questions. You can say good luck to Pinkamena. So Pinkamena is now having a decent run, I think. She is 34th place, but it was before this game was finished, so she'll gain some rankings, definitely. She's saying something. This was a decent game, but nothing special really, but do we really need some special plays to win our games? I think the best victories is these ones where you don't have to like show some extreme form, extreme class. You're just playing your game and it's enough to win. So this is a French exchange variation. What white is doing now is not making a lot of problems for black, really. Bishop g5 is played. I think white could have gone for knight b5, to be honest. I think it was more dangerous. There was also an idea to castle queenside. But yeah, Pinkamena, as we already know, Pinkamena is not this aggressive player. She's fine with inequality. Bishop f5 and now bishop d3 I think is fine. Not really essential. White can do whatever she wants. Knight e5 is possible as well. Knight e5 is nice actually. We can follow it with f4. Rook e1 is played. h6, bishop h4 I think, yeah. I don't think that it's time to play g5 really. Knight d7, queen d2. So yeah, some development from both sides. Oh, and actually now black can play queen c7 and g5 will start to become a real threat because it will possibly lead to black winning a pawn. It's not working yet, but yeah, after this move, after bishop d3, it's definitely working. Black can exchange and play g5. So bishop d3 was a mistake. Let's see if black understands that there is such a possibility. The guy is not like very huge rated, so he can miss it. And yeah, he misses it. Rook e8 instead. This threat is even not so easy to defend against. Rook d1 is like, what? There is no real idea behind this, I think. Black is playing b5. We're going a3, I think. Yeah, that's it. a3. And if black decides to play a5, we can go a4, I guess. a4 will be nice. So we'll have some like light squares. Our queen will have the a6 square. Bishop takes f6. That's an interesting exchange. I think it's a good one. Because now there is no g5 threat. But I don't really think that white even saw it. So maybe there is some different idea. Queen c8. I think we're fine with exchange. And then a4. We really have to play a4. No, we're not doing it. Knight e5. The knight is like harmless on e5, but we're attacking the c6 pawn constantly, and rook has to stay on c8. So still nice. Also, like the positioning is good. I don't know what black is doing. Why not play like b4 and then knight e4? Why are white not playing a4 as well? I don't understand. Knight d7. Knight d7 is a strategical blunder. We can go knight takes d7, rook takes e2, and then knight f6 check. And black will have a questionable pawn structure. Let's go, you can find it. No, why? No, no. That's why you count checks first, and then every other move, because this was a huge possibility. White's position is a little bit worse now, and if white have played like knight f6 check, white's position would be even better. So that's the difference maker. No, 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 no. What is this? Oh, no, why c3? Why not king f2, knight g1, knight f3, knight e5? No, it makes my heart hurt. Before and now back will play rook e2. This is a disaster. This was such a huge mistake. That's why you have to have your king like close to the action. And what is black even thinking about? Just play rook e2 and that's it. Once again, it's a problem in endgames. This is like the constant curse that is following both sisters. We still have some chances, to be honest, but c4. c4 is just essential. We can just play c4, and bishop c7 was a mistake. No, no. What is black doing? I just... what is this move? King f2. Just king f2 and rook is out. Black could have played g5 and also like get a huge advantage, but both sides like have no clue about what are they doing, really. I'm sorry if I'm sounding offensive, but bishop b6. Rook a1. Now. Definitely rook a1, then rook a6. And we're having an advantage already. No, now it's not the time to play c3. But this is equality, not a huge mistake, really. Black will have like a little advantage, but not a huge one. By playing rook b8. Or rook a4 rather. Yeah, rook b8 is fine. I don't think that king e3 was a good move. I would rather play rook e3. But at least Pinkamena is just going with the king to the center of the board, so that's already some progress. Now I have to play king c3 and then b4. G4 is a mistake, because now black will play rook b4 check, and I'm not sure if we can go on e5. And otherwise it's a blunder. Black will check the pawn on f4. No, why? The pawn was not defended. Come on. No, d4 was winning now. No. Not don't play b5. Just don't do it. And it will be fine. Nice. f5. Now h4. No, why? Why? This... You don't have to do this. The position was fine. Why? Oh, and this was even the worst timing to do it. So we at least could have played like h4. No, not now. Now the pawn on h3 was giving us some chances. And it's gone now. It's gone. I think this was still a draw. Oh my god. Yeah. I'll say this once again. I'm saying it just all the time, but I'll say it once again. That's why you have to study endgames. That's why. Because you can play like 5 minutes of nice chess, then make one move, and it's all gone. King f3. No. King f3 was better. That's a checkmate. Some sad scenes. Oh, and we're playing against this opponent once again. Or is it a different one? Yeah, it's a different account, I guess. I don't get it. I think this nickname is like similar to the guy that Pinkamena was playing like in the first game of this tournament. So what did we have there? We have some weird opening. f6. f6. I don't think that f6 is a good decision, because now we will have the a2 g8 diagonal. What is happening? Oh yeah, so I missed some moves. So now black castled, bishop goes to b3. This may be a nice exchange. Queen d7. And what now? Actually, we don't have a decent plan. And what is this? Oh no. Pinkamena blundered the queen and resigned. Well, this happens sometimes. Can't defend from that. Oh, sorry guys, I didn't respond to your comments because I had some bug on YouTube and I didn't see it. So now I'll just try to answer everything you asked. Thank you for your support. Best chess book suggestions. What can I say about this? Well, my first suggestion is to read Nimzovich's book, My System. You have to read it when you're around, I would say around 1700 of rating on chess.com, something like this. It's time to read this book. Before this, you have to just solve tactics and study basics of openings, and this will be enough to gain this rating, I think. You just need a lot of tactics, really. After this, there are some. Of course, I recommend Dvoretsky's book about endgames, the most famous one. How is it called? Something like Endgame chess book by Mark Dvoretsky. So this is like the ultimate chess book. After you read this, you are good in endgames. Then, what books can I really recommend? Kasparov's series of books. How is it called? It's like 6 books or something around it. About all the world champions. I forgot the name of this book. So just a big series. You can find it. So this book structure is like history. So it's going in the historical order through all the world champions. You can basically read every book about. Oh, one more book, Zurich, 1953. I don't think I'm not sure if it's the name of the book, but it's like the period. It's written by Bronstein. It's called International Grandmaster Tournament, something like this. A nice book. So you basically can read every book by some skillful players, some grandmasters, about something like strategy and just or them commentating some chess games. You have to be very careful when you want to read some books about openings, because 90% of the time this book is not worth your time, because the variations are not actual, or the author is not a skilled player and just doesn't understand himself what's he talking about. So you have to be very careful. I don't recommend reading opening books just 90% of the time. So I've read I can recommend maybe 1 or 2. So one is Vityugov's book about French defense. That's a very good book, but it's good because Vityugov is a great player, and also it's not all about variations. It's about understanding, the general understanding of the opening. Also, you can read the chess repertoire of Anand. I think I have there are a couple of books, one for d4, one for e4, I think. Once again, that's because Anand is a world champion. So when you watch his games, and this book is all about games, so that's why it's good. Rook f5, rook e5. It's a very difficult endgame. Black has to play king e6 now, definitely. But if Pinkamena doesn't see this move, maybe it's better to, I don't know, rook e8 check is possible. It doesn't lead to something. Also, now she can't play rook e5 check because it will lead to a draw by repetition. What is my name? You seem like a strong player. Oh, she agreed the draw, so that's very like Pinkamena. So I was sure this will happen. My name is Arman Geivanjan. I'm a FIDE master from Russia, and like a little bit of a chess coach, I would say. I'm not really such a strong player. I think my skill is around maybe 2400, 2450, something like this in classical chess. In blitz chess, I'm just bad. Oh, my great predecessors, yeah. Predecessors. What is this word? I'm not even sure that I know this word. Let's listen it. Predecessor. Okay. My great predecessors. Shame on me. I didn't even know this word, to be honest. Oh, and wow, we have like welcome back to Arman. Welcome back to the time when you were like 8 years old. Because I studied this variation when I was like 8. This is not working for black. This is a huge mistake. And if white was smart enough not to play c3, but to play bishop takes f6 and queen d2, I guess, or something like this, white will just win the game. Hilarious. So as you can see, Pinkamena really has some some stuff that some spaces in her like preparation. Some stuff that she has to learn immediately. Somehow it worked. Why didn't what? Can you just explain me why didn't black take the rook on f1? I have no idea. This was just an extra exchange that you could just take it. And why didn't white go rook e1 in the first place? I'm just missing something, I think. And no one is really want to defend this rook. I don't get it. The rook is just under attack. Why don't you take this rook? Why don't you defend this rook? No one really cares. This was like 4 or 5 moves under attack. Oh, guys, I'm done. I'm so done. What can I even say as a commentator? Really. Now, actually, white even has an advantage, and not just a slight advantage, I think a huge one. The pawn structure is awful. Also, there will be no two bishops advantage because now exchange will happen. Black has to play c6. Yeah, that's a good move. If black exchange on d5, I think it will just be over, to be honest. Oh, and now actually we can take on c4 and play t5, maybe, I guess. Queen e7, maybe still nice. And then d5. I think we have to play d5. We have to just open the play somehow. Because we have a bishop. And because we have to, like, create some mess. Otherwise, white is just having an advantage, and the advantage will become bigger. Yeah, finally we play d5. Now white has to exchange. No? Oh, actually, if white took on b6, we'll play d takes e4, so this makes sense. We are taking on e4. This is a mistake. We had no reason to do so. We had to play bishop a5. Despite having a weak pawn on d4, I think white still has an advantage. Well, I don't think, I'm sure that white has an advantage. Because queen and a knight is like a destructive, like ultimate combination. Knight f3 is played. Maybe that's good. I think we have to play king g7, I guess, to create a queen f5 threat. No, instead Pinkamena takes on e4. And if she plays queen e6 now, I think it's nice. It's fine. Queen d5 instead. No. The endgame after exchange on d5 favors white a lot. But the exchange after if we played like queen e6, the endgame will even favor us. So once again, not knowing like endgame tendencies will lead black to loss. May lead white to loss. I hope that black to loss. I hope it will not happen because, of course, I'm rooting for Pinkamena. So how dare I? King e7, king d6, b4. Yeah, this is not really a good situation to be in. So f5 was not really a good move for white because after this the winning chances are low. But it's not really a pleasure to play this kind of endgame because white have like a lot of like advantages. Can play g5 maybe. No, g5 is not good. White needs some plan. Is there really one? Knight rotates somewhere. Bishop goes to f4, so some space is found. Now maybe just b6. Yeah, nice. If white didn't play f5, the knight could have stayed on f5. I think it still maybe was a draw, but I'm not sure about this. We're talking in English because we have only like 10% of our viewers from Russia. That's why. Oh, and actually, we created some chances for ourselves. So maybe white is forced like to play knight d2 now. And after this exchange, there are definitely no chances to win. So the exchange now, b5, no, h6. h6? And if I 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we still had time to defend. But this was like an unnecessary risk, really. White's only plan is to move the king on h5. So king e7 now is essential. Just not king c6, just any move, but not king c6. King d7. It's still enough, I think. Yes, our king going to g7. And now white will play h4 and g5. But this will definitely lead to nothing. Position is dead equal, so it's not even about like tempos. I don't get why black is even risking it, so why not just stand on g7? White has like no plan, the king side, on the queen side. Hello, will you be able to play with our chess bot? I'll be grateful if you play a game with him. Please write to the chat. There are no headphones in our office. Comment from lichess. Well, the administrators of the channel, feel free to answer this question. Oh no! No! No, this was such a mistake. No, we had to play king e7 and even maybe we'll even had the chances to win. No, we won't, of course, but this will be a definitely a draw. But now, no, oh my god. Oh, it hurts so much to see this. Why? This was such a dead draw without any, like, absolutely any chances to win. No, Jesus Christ. Let's just, like, ban end games and play without them. I can't just stand it anymore. Oh my god. And this game lasted like, I don't know, like 15 minutes and it's all for nothing. What just happened? What happened there? Why even Black's king was on F8? I missed it. I was reading the comment and something like happened. Oh my god, just every move was a draw instead of like what Black actually did in the game. Oh my god. It was a draw. No, it was not only a draw. It was like this position was impossible to lose. I just I don't get it. Just okay, like yeah. Let's keep calm. Try to get as much points as we still can. Oh no. Oh, what is White doing there? This is weird stuff. Why let Black move the knight on d4? Thank you, Pierre. That's right. I'm just a poor guy watching it. You know, I'm like going to a chess camp from the 2nd to the 14th January, and yeah, I'll be streaming from this camp to you. But also, I'll be like teaching kids with around 1800 of FIDE rating. So, and the first stuff that I'll be concentrating on is I'll like teach them how to play end games because I just can't watch it anymore. О, we are not, а еще считают себя русскими смешно. Я лично армянин, так что не знаю, о чем речь. Ну а что вы предлагаете, забить на 90% просто зрителей и говорить по-английски? Говорить по-русски? Не знаю, по-моему, это, не знаю, не очень хорошая идея. Sorry, this was a little bit of Russian, so learn Russian. If you guys learn Russian, you'll be able to watch Pinkamena without some weird FIDE master that is like saying, oh my god, 15% of the stream. Bishop h5. Chess camp sounds fun. Yeah, it's just so much fun. When I was a kid, I used to when I like maybe from 12 years to like maybe 18, I used to visit this chess camp. So I was there with my friends from my chess school, and this is like the best time in my life, I think. I had so much fun. There were also different sportmen in this camp. So, like, I don't know, the guys from like box, from like just every sport. So, like football, volleyball, basketball. And we were like contesting with them in a lot of like sports. So, for example, there was a football tournament, and footballers, of course, couldn't attempt this one, but every other sport could. And we played, and there was like a lot of action, a lot of like excitement. Also, you know, we were young, so some stories about like liking some girls and all this. This was just such a good time. You just can't have. I think you can't have this much fun when you are an adult, to be honest. So this time is gone and can be remade somehow. Then I was in camps as a coach for a lot of like time. I even was a coach for different organizations because, you know, in Russia, in Moscow, like chess players from Moscow everyone knows each other, and everyone knew that I was a coach and I liked this stuff, like these camps, and so I was being hired as a coach a lot of times. I really like this. Of course, it's not as much fun as like when you are a student, but still, I like children and I like teaching, I would say. I was working as a teacher like a huge amount of my life. I think maybe from 16 to like 24. I'm still teaching some guys chess. I was not only teaching chess, I was also teaching like physics, mathematics, like chemistry, programming, all this stuff. Когда стримы на русском, ну вот я надеюсь, что администраторы ответят в чате, я, честно говоря, точно не знаю. Какое там расписание, но они точно есть. Queen c3. So, yeah, we have really a bad position here because our bishop on g6 is just not having fun. White decided just to blunder everything on c7. Interesting. And blunder checkmate. I don't know what to say here. So white just absolutely strategically destroyed black and then just made the most obvious blunder like in the chess history. Maxim Vashiela Graf is playing against us. So you see some grandmasters. So let's see if Pinkamena can like disappoint a grandmaster here in this game. So he's playing like Philidor defense. What's now, d4 or bishop c4 was our choice. Как поднять уровень игры в шахматы, если новичок? До второго разряда просто решать задачи. Ну и основы дебютов знать. То есть в дебюте задача просто не влететь в самом начале, получить нормальную позицию, а в остальном просто тупо решать тактику. Если час в день сможешь, то это очень хорошо будет. Ну, полчаса в день хотя бы. Желательно пропускать поменьше. На одной только тактике можно чуть ли не до КМС доехать. До второго разряда задачи, потом Немцович моя система, Дворецкий учебник Эншпиля, и все. И все будет легко. Тактика, каждый день тактика. Sorry guys, I'm speaking a little bit Russian, just answering the questions. Queen b6. Я дошел до КМС, не зная ничего, кроме тактики и дебютных ловушек. Но вот ловушки я не советую изучать, это не очень хорошая вещь. Потом придется исправлять это. Придется перестраиваться и нормально играть. Ну, учиться нормальным дебютам, это не очень хорошая вещь. Лучше просто основы дебютов. Главное не углубляться сильно. И тактика. d4. So, yeah, now we have a center. We have some control. The d6 pawn is going to be weak. Oh, I don't like an exchange on e5. It just ruins everything. We had to play rook bd1 first. Because just black didn't have something to do. And we could just like prepare as much as we can. And then think about the exchange on e5. I don't even think that this exchange is a good decision at all. Because black, you see what black has now is the pawn on c6, the queen on c7, and the pawn on e5. That's a very good setup. It was like invented by Wilhelm Steinitz, the first world champion. And I like this kind of structure very much. I think I gained a lot of points for both colors by like in this pawn structure. Не за что. In this pawn structure. And yeah, black has nearly a perfect setup. Because you see the pawn on c6 cuts off white's knight on c3. All the pieces are standing in a good position. Knight went to g6, defended the pawn. So maybe next maneuver for black is something like knight d7, knight c5, knight e6, and then the d4 square is the like center spot of this position, the one we're fighting for. Rook d7. Ну, я в школе учился, не знаю. У меня после школы уже был хороший английский. Я ни на какие курсы не ходил, как-то само. Много стримы разные смотрю там. Ну, там разные. Там КС, покер, все что угодно вообще. Герои третий. Просто видео на английском. И как-то уровень поддерживается. Knight g5. Oh, wow, we are attacking the pawn on f7. Actually, this is a nice threat. So black is forced to play bishop f8. Yeah, it doesn't lead to something really huge, but it's a blitz game. We don't have to go for huge advantage all the time. We have to solve the problem with our bishop on g3 because it's not positioned very well. And I don't even know what to recommend here. Knight f3. I think knight h4 will be a nice exchange. So we go knight h4, exchange knights. Then pawn goes on f3, bishop goes on f2. That will be a nice position for a bishop. And the next piece that we are like trying to make better is our knight on c3, because the pawn on e4 will be defended after f3, so the knight is free and can go anywhere he desires. a5, once again, we have to go a4. That's a typical reaction on a5. I think that white just Pinkamena doesn't know it. I'll tell her after the stream. King h2. The problem is white is doing nothing. So white has to like to have some plan. There is no plan for white in this moment. So white is just waiting for something. Oh, and rook e2 is just such an awful move. I think our best plan was to play like queen b1, rook d1, just exchange everything. And after this exchange on g3, I'm already not sure that even some end games will possibly be like equal or not. So that's already a discussion. Knight h4 is even worse because now black can exchange, play like and harass the h4 pawn. The problem is, you see, that's what like the typical mistake of the children. So it's a blunder. Black will take the rook and in the game. The problem is that white is playing with the queen on a2. The queen is positioned like absolutely terrible. And Pinkamena doesn't see that this is even a problem. So she's just playing and not understanding that her like the strongest piece is out of action. You see, I made this kind of mistake when I was a child as well. So my coach always used to say that you see, there were times when I was good at tactics, and my coach said that Arman, you're so good at tactics, but why do you want like why do you place your pieces in the like awful places and then try to find tactics that is obviously not working in this scenario? So why won't you just like place your pieces normally and then like all your tactics will work? This was like the best advice that I had in my entire life. Maxim Vashyela has to play bishop e1 now. And it's a checkmate in 2 moves. Of course, there are like million ways to end this game in other fashion. Bishop d4 is one of them, but it's a little bit slower. Bishop e1 was much stronger. Rook f2. c4. Shahriar Mamediyarov Aze. What is this comment about? I don't get it. Mamediyarov is a very good player. I think that if he somehow won the candidates tournament, he is like the guy that will have real chances against Carlsen, because he has like a different play style. Queen g1 checkmate. Why not? Takes b4. h6. JK, I'm just forced to, you know. I have to. Oh, I finally have more than 100 viewers. That's nice. This is funny how, you know, when I was like streaming alone, like playing in this tournament, and the girls were busy, I was getting like 40 viewers, and when I'm like streaming Fatality, I get like 100 viewers, and when I'm streaming like both girls, I have like 140. So it's all about girls, you know. Chess is all about girls, like anything in this world, to be honest. So we are exchanging on e5 and playing d4. That's typical tactics. Bishop takes d4 is played, queen takes d4, and now we have center, we have two bishops, and we have a lot of time advantage because our opponent is berserking. And yeah, I remind you that our opponent doesn't have an additional time, because this is how berserks work. I had a funny story about this. So I was playing some tournament, and I was taking berserks, and somehow our opponents were so weak that they were not weak, but I just was winning the games so easily and consistently that I didn't find out that the berserk doesn't give you additional time. So I thought that I have like 1 second. So it was logical. You see, 3 plus 2, if you cut it off by like a double, so you have 1.5 plus 1. I thought that this is how it works. But actually, you don't have this plus 1 second. And I was just like casually playing one more game. I had like 15 seconds all around it, a nice position. I'm making moves and I see that I don't have an additional time. And I'm like, oh my god, wow. I didn't know it. This was like a rough surprise for me. Oh, Pinkamena decided to go for the pawn on a7, and this wasn't a good decision. Funny. She had to play queen bishop a6 check, king d7, and then bishop b5 check instead of bishop b5. e5, exchange on d5. Now bishop e4, f5. Yeah, of course black has a very serious advantage, but the time still can matter. Oh, and white will be checkmated now. So rook c2 has to be played. This is the only move. Oh, nice job. Pinkamena found it. And now this is becoming interesting because 26 seconds. This is not much. And we have 3 pawns after all. Of course, it's not enough, but it's like enough to distract. Oh, and a misclick. It was a misclick from black. But yeah, I think after all, black still didn't have enough time. But yeah, black did have enough time, but black's rating is 1800, and I don't think that with this kind of rating you have time in this kind of position. King d4. b4 is played. Well, I think now it just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Check, king d4, king c5. I don't know what can happen. for black not to lose this game. This is just impossible. Pinkamena has all the time in the world. Queen a7 check, let's go. Nice, good job. And the checkmate, boom. We got a little bit lucky here, but Pinkamena will take it. Bishop c4. Once again, this is some Italian vibes in this opening. d3. Oh, that's like some classics on the board. Nowadays, people like playing this opening, plays it very often. Magnus Carlsen is a huge professional in this kind of position. Bishop g4 was the waste of one tempo, because h3 is a planned move for white. How often do I stream? I stream on Mondays, every Monday. And girls, I think, stream in some other days, but they stream in Russian mostly. Did I meet Vugar Hashimov in chess? No, I didn't, because you see, most of my career I was playing in Russia only. So the only countries outside Russia where I like played is Belarus and Lithuania. And these were like some not so strong tournaments, so not strong enough, obviously, to Vugar Hashimov to like attend it. Yeah, I just had some problems with money, you know, so I didn't have enough money to go like and attend the foreign tournaments. This is sad, but this is reality. Now I have enough money, I would say, but yeah, I'm planning to go on for some like tournaments in summer. I want to finally achieve my international master title. I hope I'm prepared enough for this. That was a weird exchange on d1. This is still a nice position, I think, because the pawn on e5 is definitely in our favor. Hello, Chris. Knight e4. The pawn on e5 is in our favor because it's hanging, and the space that this pawn is creating is at d6 and f6 squares that are already defended by our other pawns. So basically, the pawn structure is very nice for black. Oh, and this was not a nice decision, because after this exchange, white will play knight c5. And this is a threat that is leading to material advantage, sadly. Well, maybe it's not. Maybe we can play knight d1 now. Oh, f5 is not a good decision. Really not a good decision. You see, black had choice between like two things. So, hello, Alan. The first choice was to defend the e6 pawn, like king f7, and play without a pawn. The second choice was to play knight d1, and white can take whatever pawn he likes. Obviously, this will be an e6 pawn, but we'll get one pawn back and restore the material equality. And black like played a5 and gave up on both these scenarios. Actually, white even has like 2 extra pawns instead of 1. This is one more endgame mistake. Hi, bro. Hello. You see, I got some friends on my stream. Some brilliant chess players from Russia. Knight c3. I'm not even sure if black can already stop these pawns, to be honest. Knight e3, yeah, now definitely black can't do it. King f7 was essential. 95, c7 now, another 96, and that's it. That's it. 97 is played, but it doesn't make a difference really. It's even worse because now white can not even play c8 and just do whatever. c8 is just not the best move. The best move was like king f2 maybe. And now it's an extra knight. So this is the second game that Pinkamena is losing to this guy in this tournament. She's 40th place and it's 9 minutes left. Now she will even lose some more rankings. This is some sad stuff. White is not even defending the knight on a5. So yeah, maybe you guys do have some more questions, because now we're just waiting 20 or 30 more seconds. Tours all around the world, really. Costa Rica. Hi, Carlos. And yeah, the game is finished. e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, knight c6, yeah, bishop c4. So once again, we'll have an Italian here. c3 is played, knight f6. Oh, and d4, we have some vintage classics. Knight takes c4 here, yeah, castling. Bishop takes c3. No! How can you not know this? Oh my god. No, I think this was like the first thing that I learned in chess. And queen b3 even is not the best move. Bishop a3 is stronger. And El Greco found it out like in, I don't know. This was so long ago. It was even like before 1800s here, I think. Bishop takes f7 check. And bishop g5. Well, this is, yeah, a viable way to end this game. Rook e1. I'm so shocked. I thought that like every chess player knows this, to be honest. What? Why didn't we take the bishop? What is happening? She maybe thought that white will play knight g5 check. But why do you have to pre-move in this position? Bishop a3 is like a checkmate. Or just any move, like queen d8, yeah. 1600s? Yeah, maybe. I'm not good in dates, really. And h3, a pawn checkmate. Yeah, that's for viewers. What can I say, guys? So that's what I was talking about when I said that you have to know the basic openings. This is the basic opening. So you have to know it. If you don't know it, you will just lose the game like this. So you have to know the exact moves that you have to take on c3 with your bishop, not with your knight, and you have to know like 10 next moves. Because if you don't, you are losing it. And that's what we are trying to avoid. Losing in endgames. I did not know that, but I don't play e5. But she does know it because she's like 7 years old. Well, she's 8, yeah. But you see, when I'm like saying that I knew it when I was like 8 years old, this is because I started playing when I was 7. So this is like, so I just played absolutely clueless. But then the first thing that I learned about chess is this. And she started playing like not 1 year ago, I would say. Well, I think you have to know this even if you don't play e5, really. Everyone has to know it. So, because this is, you see, uh, I would even go further. I would say that you have to play e5 when you are a newbie. So when you start playing chess, you have to play e4 for white, and you have to play e5 for black, because you have to like go through this historical way how chess were developing, because this e4 e5, these openings let you understand the essence of openings, the essence of tactics. This is really important. So you can't start playing, for example, with something like French defense or Sicilian defense, because this doesn't give you an understanding of how chess works. So you see, for example, let's imagine you are starting playing chess, and your first opening is like King's Indian. But you can't really do this, because the King's Indian was invented when chess were already like professional chess were like 1 or 200 years. It was going on for 1 or 200 years, and this was like a huge step forward. So you see, grandmasters that were living when King's Indian were starting to like develop, they thought that this position is lost for black. That's white has a decisive advantage. So they didn't understand it, because it's like the hypermodernism, and it was invented like to invent hypermodernism. You have to have a deep understanding on like what is opening, what is center, what is tactics, and you gain this understanding by playing e4, e5, all these classical openings. So that's what I'm talking about. So that's why you have to know it, even if you don't play it like afterwards. Почему Пинкамена, а не Петрова, например? Ну, никнейм просто. So you see, if the people don't do it, this leads to like, for example, sometimes I'm playing against like the talented kids who has rating like of, I don't know, 2200, for example. And they like play, for example, some like opening, and we're like somewhere where they already don't know what are the like necessary moves. So we're like in the middle game, and they give up the control of the center, and they don't even understand that you can't do this with a lot of minor pieces on the board without having a counterplay, because they don't even think that giving up the center is like, this is like a huge factor. So because they're playing like, for example, you are studying King's Indian, and you see that you're playing opening where you are giving up the center by like, by design, and you just don't know that this is even a factor. So you're used to it, and you don't understand why the center is important in the first place. So you see, that's what I'm talking about. So you have to understand the chess in general first, and then you can afford to like study some like tricks, some like interesting strategical ideas. Or you see players that are starting to play with a d4 move, not the e4 move. So they learn some strategy, but they don't understand like the essence of dynamics, the tactics. I don't know, because they don't have enough tactics in their games, and they don't understand, for example, that if you miss like one developing move, then you can just get destroyed, because it's not a reality in the like closed openings. I maybe can say that I am one of like examples of this. Of course, my like chess studying was just correct, so I was learning the e4 e5 first and playing e4 and e5, but I didn't have a good like my second chess coach, so he just kind of ruined my developing as a chess player. But still, I was starting to play d4 very early, and at some point I lost the track of the like tactics, development in tactics, and now I am a strategical player that can just blunder anything. And I don't understand, more importantly, I don't understand the essence of the dynamics. And this is really like, it costs me a lot of points. Because I missed some part in chess developing. So what we have now? We have the last game. Pinkamena has queen and a pawn against a rook. This is a like locked on victory, I would say. These points will not count, and this means that we are probably going to end up outside of the top 50. Which is sad, of course, but which is like a thing to learn from. We had some mistakes in this tournament that really are like not just blunders, but they show some misunderstandings. That's something to work on. That's something to like make progress from. Do I play King's Gambit? No, I'm not playing e4 in the first place. But yeah, King's Gambit is pretty much fun. I like watching the games in the King's Gambit. It's a good opening to play when you are 1700, because it's one of the first openings invented, so it's always a good decision to play it. Are you a chess coach? You seem very wise. I just learned a lot listening to you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a chess coach. I was being a chess coach for like 8 years. And I'm still one, I think. Yeah, and Pinkamena won this game. You see, I even used to give lessons for the foreigners. So I had a student from Great Britain. I had a student from America. And yeah. Thanks to my own coach, my like third coach that I had, and the one that I'm having now, but I don't really study now because my coach is like, he retired and he's writing some books, but he really gave me all this understanding, all this stuff that I am telling now. So he just he taught me how to think about chess like as a system, how to like generally understand, how to make this like logical conclusions about chess. Because when I came to this coach, I was only just a tactical kid, or just like doesn't understand anything, doesn't know endgame, doesn't know strategy, so doesn't know some like basic logical things about chess. And he just turned it all around and made me who I am, I would say. So I owe everything that I have to my coach, really. And thank you for your nice words. It's really a pleasure to read it. I'm glad that I can teach you some new tricks, maybe teach you something that will help you progress yourself and get more points, more win, and more fun from playing chess. And we have finished our tournaments. So thank you so much. I'll see you next Monday. I had fun. Pinkamena had fun. I hope you too. Let's not see what was her ranking, because I don't think that this is this high today. So let's just hope that next Monday she will achieve more and her ranking will be better. So bye bye, see you next Monday. Thank you for your attention and nice words. Bye.